Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, where we celebrate and have conversations with diverse people, organizations, and businesses making positive impact in lives and communities. In addition, the program highlights and celebrates events, places, and positive news. I am Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, known as Mama K, and in today's program, yes, it is a special one. We are honoring men. We're reflecting on the month dedicated to celebrate men's achievement and contribution. Yes, we do have a Men's Day. For those who don't know, there's an internationally acknowledged Men's Day, which is on the 19th of November every year. So yes, it started basically it was started to raise an awareness of the mental and health issues, that a lot of young men and boys experience. And as well, just to encourage them and to celebrate them, especially trying to promote good role models, male models. So yes, we have the 19th of November each month to celebrate men. And we've, over the years, through our program and through supporting others, tried to promote the whole month of November Men, as a month dedicated to our men, where we interview young men, and I'm hoping we could start speaking and engaging with our boys as well. I'm a mother of two sons, so I know how it is that we can forget these boys thinking, they're okay. So we need to engage them more, and can't wait to share more of what we're going to be doing later on in the year. And the first segment, we'll be showing you some videos of International Men's Day celebrated in 2023 through various other people. We acknowledge copyright of any video that we've used for this segment. Enjoy.
I think for a lot of guys, it's something that they are almost ashamed to talk about. Also, second, I feel like a lot of guys don't take the time to take care of their health. So No Shave November is an opportunity that people have to not shave during the month of November. And then someone might come up to me and say, hey, I noticed that you lost your razor, or hey, you're growing your facial hair out. It gives me an opportunity to tell them, hey, I'm doing it to support men's health. Three of the biggest topics that people usually go for is for prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and also the high suicide rate that you see in young males. A lot of students are financially strapped, but I figured pins and mustaches, they're only $1 or $2. That's really cheap, and it's an easy way for them to help for a good cause. All proceeds are going to prostate cancer research. So as a future physician, I think it's my responsibility to ask and be sure that my patients know that they can rely on me to talk about this, to open conversation about these issues.
I hope you learned one or two things from those videos that was shared. So the second segment is going to be a snippet from an interview that I had with a young man who is an IT specialist guru based in USA, is a family man, is active in sport, running, although it's limited to what he does now with running. And I have to put the disclaimer, yes, he is my brother-in-law. So Mr. Ibe Tagbo, where I was asking him about what men's health, means to him. Because most of the time, yes, our men are shy to look after their health. And this is what November, the Men's Month, is always about, to raise an awareness of their well-being and their health. Enjoy. Talking about men's health, right? And I know I can even see I can see the body. What does men's health mean to you? When we talk about men's health, to you personally, what does it mean to you?
Well, for me, men's health is a well-rounded man, not just health-wise, but also mentally and family-oriented. So many things that goes in. For me, when you talk about men's health, it's not just about my health. It's the whole package: family, life, work balance.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
So, family, work-life balance, physical. What do you do then to look after your health in terms of all that you've spoken about?
Okay. On the physical side, I try as much to work out at least 5 days a week.
5 days a week?
Yes.
You're good.
I know it might sound foreign to some people, but that's what I try to do.
Okay.
I try to break it down into cardio some days, 3 days a week.
Okay.
Go out there, get in a good run. And
you run?
I run, yes,
Okay.
yes. And then the other 2 days, you know, just a little weight, nothing major. I don't want to be on a Schwarzenegger here. But, you know, but you still have to look good and feel good about yourself.
Right. So that's the physical.
That's the physical side.
And?
On the family side, oh boy.
And mental?
Mental, you know, I try to make sure that my mental well-being is very well balanced in terms of, you know, I don't let things that shouldn't bother me.
Okay.
You know, there are certain things you have control over,
Right.
and those are the things you should worry yourself about. But those things you don't have any control over, just let it be. Let it go.
Yeah. But why do some people struggle though, you know, with whereby they don't have control over something and then it becomes something else which then affects them, and especially as a man, you know, in terms of the society expectation on men?
Well, you know, what I think happens here is some people, and men, since we're talking about men here, we worry about what other people think or say about us. I don't let that bother me. Because if you start worrying about it, then you'll never move forward in life. You know, you'll always be depressed, angry, because not everybody's going to like you. And as I am, I don't want everybody to like me. You know?
Yeah, okay.
I'm being honest. You know, I'm okay with it. If you say hello to me, if I say hello to you and you say hello back, that's all I need.
Right.
We don't have to sit down and break bread or anything like that. Just common decency, common courtesy, yeah?
Yeah. So we've spoken about physical, mental, and in terms of your diet, do you do anything? Do you pay attention to that or not? Or that is a no-go question?
Well, no. It's not a no-go question. Okay. Here's the thing with my diet. When it comes to diet, because I work out, I don't deprive myself.
Okay. So you eat anything and everything.
Exactly, but in moderation. That's the key word. Moderation. You know, I don't eat fast food that often. But if I feel like a nice juicy burger, I'll go out for it. If I feel like pizza, I'll finish half a pie of pizza.
Right.
But, you know, like I said, but you won't see me eating that the next day or the week after.
So it's a one-off.
One-off. Yes. If I feel like ice cream,
why not?
why not?
Well, you just don't have the 5 liters bucket or 2 liters.
No. Moderation.
Moderation.
But I just don't deprive myself.
Okay, so do you drink water a lot, or that is something
I
don't?
try to get in at least 64 ounces a day.
Okay,
64
that's
ounces.
good.
That's about half a gallon or so of water a day. You know, and then there's fruits and things like that. That I try to get in at least 3 servings. I know they say like about five fruits and like 5 vegetables, but you do what you can. You know.
So now during the season of still in the COVID time, where you know a lot of people have lost jobs or lost their homes, or you know there's so much pain, or lost loved ones.
Right.
And for a man, you know, either a single man or married man, you know, the pressure, you know, on them as a man. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling, you know, in terms of all this stress?
Well,
you know?
I mean, the way it worked for me, you know, when this pandemic hit, even the doctors and the scientists, nobody knew what was coming. Nobody knew how bad this was going to be. Some people said it was going to go away in about a month, summer, spring, and it's still with us a year, 2 years into it now, right? But the way I've handled it, I've taken it one day at a time. You listen to the professionals, the doctors, Dr. Fauci and the rest of them, here in the US. You listen to their advices because they're learning about this pandemic just as much as we are trying to figure out what's going on ourselves. I'm not what is it? What is Dr. Fauci again? Whatever that is, yes. I'm not, that's why I listen to people like that because that's what they know. That's what he's been doing it for. I don't know. God knows how many decades. So he has the experience. So I listen to his advices and things like that, and just try to take precautionary measures when I go out there. Even though I'm fully vaccinated, I still wear my mask when I'm in public, when I go to the store, or when I'm in a large gathering. But I know it's not easy for some people. Some people have been depressed about this whole thing. They don't want to get outside or do anything like that. But throughout when it first started, when the lockdown first happened, I started by just staying outside, going for my runs, cycling, just to clear my head, be active. So it takes my mind off of watching the news and getting depressed. Because I don't know if you remember here in the US. People were dying by the thousands every single day, and I didn't want to stay in front of the TV all day and listen to all that negative, depressing news. So I made it a point, luckily I was able to work remotely, so I was home. So that gave me more free time to take walks in between work, and also in the evenings when I'm done with work, go out there, clear my head, getting some fresh air, go out with the kids and the wife, and just be out there and forget what's happening in the world for a while.
Thank you, Mr. Tagbo there. Yes, I completely agree with you. It shouldn't be just about, men's health, but it should be in terms of the rounded, being a rounded man, the physical, the family, life, and so on, which I can testify that you're the real man when it comes to about family. You don't joke with family and friends. So yes, kudos to all our men for celebrating life and family and looking after themselves, as well as they do that through physical, mental, and a lot of other things that you do to make sure that you're sound and all-rounded. Thank you, Mr. Tagbo there. Our final segment is another snippet of an interview that I had with another young man, Mr. Chofo Chang, who is the founder of an NGO that works with sickle cell. And for him, I was asking him, what is sickle cell? Because a lot of people, there's a myth about what sickle cell is about. Enjoy.
So for those, let me go back a little bit. So you were born with sickle cell and you had the transplant, you lost 4 years, in terms of education. You mentioned earlier on about crisis. So a lot of people don't know what sickle cell is. Can you, before we go on to what you do with your foundation, which we'll do after the break, can you break it down, to us, what is sickle cell and what is crisis? What do you mean when you say you have crisis?
Sickle cell is a hereditary blood type disease. It's inherited from, from your parents. Now, genetically, your parents do not need to have sickle cell for you to have sickle cell. It's the biology of fertilization. So what happens here is your parents could have certain genes, which when they meet with other genes from, their partner in the form of, fertilization, you can carry on those genes, and that manifests itself as sickle cell. And so what happens in this case, essentially what happens is your body doesn't produce healthy red blood cells. Now, in a normal, according to normal standards, the body produces round, fluffy red blood cells. In someone with sickle cell, the body produces sickle, so it's a hook-shaped red blood cells, and these red blood cells do not adequately transport food, water, and oxygen to the rest of the body and to the vital organs in the body. As a result of that, the patients tend to experience organ damages, tend to experience, shortage of blood in very important areas, tend to experience swellings, and the most prominent of it is a pain crisis. And so a pain crisis I'd like to describe to you as, think of bashing your knee or your shin bone against the table, and think of constantly doing that, or hitting an iron rod against your bone constantly. I mean, a huge rod with a lot of force, and think of experiencing that pain stretched out over 3 weeks. So you're constantly living through intense amounts of pain that you're living when you are in a crisis. That is what a crisis is like. And so, the first thing is about like pain management. You're just screaming the whole time. Again, I'm not exactly sure if you do get the imagery, but if you have to keep bashing,
I'm imagining it, but I
bone,
don't think I will get the pain, the way
with iron for extended periods of time. You can't walk, you can't think properly, you can't talk, you're irate. It's really not the best sight you want to see someone in. And
okay, we'll stop and we'll be right back. Wow. Okay, we were talking there about your journey from Bamenda in the northwest of Cameroon, where you were born, and you schooled in Yaoundé. Then you ended up in South Africa, although we didn't touch much about that because you were speaking to us about the sickle cell, enlightening us more on what it is and your brief journey, which you did so much justice to it, within just a short time, to try and, tell us, what it is, and, the fact that you had to undergo the transplant, the bone marrow transplant. So now let me go, before I go back to life at the African Leadership, which probably is associated with your reply to this. How or why did you start Sickle Cell International Foundation, and when?
Interesting. We started, when I say we, I mean pretty much, my mom and I.
Okay.
And we had just gotten back from India. We probably still are one of the first known cases who have actually successfully undergone a bone marrow transplant in our area, because a lot of people who equally embarked on that journey came back feet first. And so,
thank you very much, Mr. Chang, for enlightening us more about what sickle cell is, and as a survivor yourself. So yes, sickle cell is an hereditary blood type disease inherited normally from parents. And yes, it doesn't mean sickle cell people, you can't talk to them, and a lot of other things. So, but there's a lot of things we need to do. So I will advise you, please, to educate yourself more. You can watch the full-on video on our YouTube, where this young man spoke so passionately about his journey, battling that health challenge, but still not giving up, especially with the support of his family, his siblings, his mother, and people around him. And he has grown from that to developing an NGO, not just that, but now doing work and doing so much as a leader in the community, raising funds, putting back in the community, impacting lives positively. I had so much respect when I heard his story, and I told him we'll be back to find out how he's getting on, because it's been some years since we had that chat and conversation. So salute to all those who are battling with one health challenge or the other, especially our men. And I will advise, as well, like I do advise my husband and my sons in terms of looking after their health. There's nothing macho about saying, yes, if you're struggling with something, you need to make sure you get checked out. There's so much pressure in this world we live in nowadays. However, especially for the over 40, there's certain tests every year that you need to start doing. You need to be checking yourself up at the doctors. We women, we go for mammogram, go for this, and so on. So men too, yes, you need to check things related to prostate cancer, your blood pressure, your sugar level, a lot of other things. So don't just say, oh yeah, I'll go next, I'll go tomorrow. No, we need you. And our boys, yes, there's a lot more to do with our boys. We need more role models, good role models for our boys, because we don't want to leave them behind. It's our boys later on, or our young boys, that, in terms of gender-based violence, because there's the statistics, it's more male that are committing the crime than female. So we need to enlighten and encourage our boys and be with them, give them that foundation. And there are a lot of NGOs, charities who are doing work with boys. I salute, we've interviewed a few of them, and I salute all of you for what you're doing. Can't wait to revisit, to see where you are, and to keep sharing your story, because this is what this program is about. Okay, that's all we've got time for this time around. This is me, Mama K, signing off, saying stay safe, stay blessed, God is love.